Hello everybody. Today we are going to use n8n in order to retrieve open tasks and limit the amount of fields that we're retrieving via the SuiteCRM API. Okay, let's go. Let's first think about when we want to do this. So in order to reduce the traffic or the server load, you would want to reduce the amount of fields that you're retrieving from each API request. And of course, if you're doing like 5 requests per day, then it doesn't matter at all. But if you're doing this at scale, if you have plenty of transactions and have a lot of requests every minute, every hour, and then it makes a lot of sense. Additionally, if you are sending your request to an AI to work with the data, then it makes a lot of sense because of 2 reasons. First of all, you're saving money since you're reducing your context size, you're reducing your token. And second, you don't transfer like data garbage or useless data. You're focusing on the data that the AI should really be working with, so you don't confuse it. And if you have more precise data, and then you would have the advantage of being able to use smaller models as well in order to work with your data because they understand the details better since you don't have that much overhead. So what do we need? We need, of course, our CRM system with our tasks. These are the demo tasks which I imported during the installation. Then we need our n8n system, and I've already copied the 2 standard ones, my get token and on another get request. Check out my other videos on SuiteCRM and n8n integration if you have not yet, because there we do this plenty of times and I don't want to reinvent the wheel here. And then maybe it's always good to have the documentation here at hand in order to be able to work on this one as well. So let's start. The first thing that I want to do is let's trigger this manually. For demo purposes, of course, later on you would have different triggers. And then let's see whether this works. I want to have my token. That looks good. And now I able to retrieve, let's say, tasks, and I just I'm sending it like this, and I retrieve a list of my tasks. So here, if we search now for the status, and then you see pending input, and here we've got in progress, and there we've got completed and so on. What we don't want to have is the completed tasks, so I want to filter those out. And additionally, you see like description is empty, deleted, and then we've got modified user link. These are all keys inside your JSON that you don't really need, that don't provide a lot of value, especially if you send it to an AI and you've got the ID of the assigned user. It will not help the AI much if they don't know anything about the IDs internally inside your system. So in order to do this, let's head over to the documentation and first filter. So the filter would look like this one. So here we've got filter, and we have different sorts of filters, so we can combine them as well. But at the moment, I only want to have the account type equals customer, something like this. And I want to have the comparison NEQ, meaning not equal. Then I compare to what I don't want to have. So let's copy and paste this, so I can just simply take this one here, and now I would be able to filter out by pasting this here. But let's open this a bit bigger to see this better. And then I want to have the status. Remember, the field is status, and then we want to have NAQ, and then we want to have not completed. So if I close this now, and if I execute this one again, I search again for the status, and here we've got deferred. The good thing is we don't have anything which is completed at the moment. So additionally, we want to get rid of the overhead. So what's maybe important is the name looks good, and then if I work with an AI, maybe I want to have the assigned username as well. And I might want to have the status itself, and maybe I want to have the contact name, and then we can maybe the priority as well. But you get the gist. So I'll pick a couple of really valuable fields that we can work with, that we integrate in other systems that are really reasonable to have for other systems. So, and I would copy this one now and add this one, would add the fields. And in order to do this, I would go back here, and important now, so the question mark is separating my URL from the parameters, from the get parameters that I'm transferring here. Then I'm pasting this one there. And now I've got fields, which is like the first get parameter, including task, that's the module. And now we already set name, we set status as well. And now I could add the other ones if I remembered it, but best to go into contact name, assigned user name, but best to have this to see this. So I will close this in a bit. So here we've got the and sign and we've got the filter. So we're separating two different get parameters from each other by the and sign. Here you can already see it's much shorter now. So now I made a mistake. I didn't add those fields here. So let's just recall this from top of my head. It's like a contact name, and the other one is assigned user name, and I hope that works out now. As you can see very well. So here we've got the contact name, the assigned user name, and now you make the whole request much leaner already. And what I can do now in order to be able to really work with the data, I would split this out. I take the data because at the moment it's just one big array, one list. And now I'm splitting out this array. And if I change now my page size to 1, you can see I've got the whole 20, and 20 is like the configuration, system configuration inside CRM. And here I've got the different records that I can go through. And now I would be able to use this one in order to put it into another system, integrate another API, or put it into an AI and reduce my amount of tokens required for each request that I'm preparing here. Additionally, your results might be much better because you remove all the unnecessary data that the AI has not to work with. Of course, you have to look into the specific case. So if you want to have the IDs and you're mapping something in the AI, of course, then you need the IDs, but for some case you might not need them at all, and therefore this should be sufficient. Very well. That's all for this video. See you next time. Bye.